funny because it's actually printed closer to you than it is to me, and then shipped to me, and then shipped back to you. So, yeah, if only it were that easy. Beyond that, the next big release for the Pathfinder RPG is the Game Master Guide. This book is due out around the beginning of next year, and is a 320-page hardcover book. It'll be full color, just like all of our products. The book will contain primarily tips and tools to make a game master's life easier. So you're going to find a lot of like sample pre-made NPCs in there, kind of like a bestiary. There'll be a chapter of just NPCs. So if you need a bartender or you need a a merchant, guard, you're going to find some quick, easy-to-use stats in the book. You're going to find a lot of tables. We're a big fan of tables at Paizo. So this book is just going to be absolutely crammed full of as many tables as we can come up with for determining things like building a town, and what kind of shops are there, and what are the names of people. There's also going to be extensive rules in there because we weren't quite able to fit them in the core rulebook for building kingdoms, building campaigns, building cities. And to top it off, we're also going to pack in a lot of GM advice, just kind of the tricks of the trade that we've learned over the years, and some of our freelance authors. We've got a lot of high-profile authors lined up for this. I don't think I'm quite ready to announce those yet, because I don't want to announce them and then have them not finish their assignments, because that happens sometimes. We'll be announcing those shortly, I would guess. And yeah, so the Game Master's Guide is a very exciting book. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's not my primary project, but I have it on good authority that it's going to be a very handy, useful tool for GMs.
So who's working on that, Jason?
There's a number of folks in the office who are kind of spearheading that one. I'm kind of so busy, they kind of lended a hand and are helping pull that book together. I'll be writing parts of it, like more traps. And pulling together maybe some more curses and diseases and things like that. Those are things that I really enjoy. Ways to punish players. That's kind of my forte.
You mentioned rules for building kingdoms. Will that cover like running your own kingdom, making a profit?
I believe it will. There's a possibility it might not, but I think those rules are going to be in there. I'm pretty sure we've got a chapter that deals with those sorts of things. So I'm sure it would include rules for, how do you handle the economy, how do you... I wouldn't look for, this concrete economic model built into there, like, oh, well, you have this many farmers, and then,
Yeah.
But there'll certainly be guidelines on how you can at least simulate how it should work.
Yeah.
So is that going to tie into Kingmaker, the next?
I think the fact that that's coming out at around the same time as Kingmaker is no coincidence. But I know that Kingmaker itself will also have a lot of rules for building kingdoms within that adventure path, specific to the goings-on inside of it. But I don't want to speak about Pathfinder too much because that's completely not my project. So I kind of stay out of their way
That's Kingmaker
and avoid spoiling things that I probably shouldn't spoil.
Any chance of mass combat rules?
In the Game Master Guide, probably not. I've been personally, just as an aside, toying around with some mass combat rules. They're nowhere near ready for public consumption yet, and it's something I'm playing around with. And when I'm happy with it, I'll try and find a product to stuff it into, or make a product all around it. But that's still kind of far off in the future. So let's see where we're at. All right. So. Beyond that, later on next year, in late spring, early summer, well, for us, so late winter, early spring, we'll be releasing Bestiary 2. That book is going to round out a lot of the monsters we couldn't include in Bestiary 1. And it's going to pull in a lot of monsters from our Pathfinder Adventure Path, Pathfinder modules. You're going to find a lot more monsters from Total Horrors in there. And it's going to be roughly 25% brand new monsters that have never been seen anywhere before. Yes?
Will it include the platypus?
The platypus, I'll see if I can work it in. I don't know. That thing's too... I don't know how many epic monsters I'm putting in there. The real problem is I don't know what creature type to give it. I'm probably going to have to go with aberration. So,
I think it's extra play now.
yeah, probably. Yeah, Bestiary 2 is going to be another 320-page monster book. We probably won't be including the monster generation rules, but you'll find a lot of kind of the similar tools that you find in the first Bestiary in the second Bestiary. So more summon monster list expansions, more PC animal companions and familiars and things like that.
What about epic level adventures?
Epic level adventures.
Yeah, like epic
Well, first of all, we don't really have an epic level rule set that we've published at this point. So when it comes to epic level adventures, we're kind of pushing those off until we decide what we want to do with epic rules in general. That said, I know we have some plans for some higher level adventures. And by higher level, I mean 15 to 20 range adventures. Those are still in a kind of a formative planning stage, so I wouldn't wait outside your game store for them to show up quite yet. But we are certainly considering it. So that's Bestiary 2. Bestiary 2, we just started having some of the kickoff meetings for it. I've got a big list of monsters sitting on my desk back at the office that I'm trying to pick which ones I want to write. And not dragons. I've had enough dragons from writing the dragons for the first book, which made me very tired. Because the new book, by the way, the Bestiary, you now get 3 dragon stat blocks for each dragon type, which means there are, that means there are 30 dragon stat blocks in this book, covering basically every CR from 1 to 20. That's Bestiary 2. What was that?
New monsters, are they going to be more, are you going to also increase the summoning lists?
Yes. Any monster that makes sense to be on one of the summoning tables will find its way into a expanded summoning table in the back of the book. Yeah, we're very cognizant of that a lot of monsters were put out that you couldn't really summon or get your hands on as a player character, and we want to make sure that we kind of change that. So with our Bestiaries, you'll find that we expand the summoning tables with each Bestiary we put out. So after Bestiary 2, we'll be moving on to the big summer release, which is the Advanced Player's Guide. The Advanced Player's Guide is a 320-page full color. Yeah, we like 320-page books. Yeah, it's a good size for us. So it'll be a 320-page full color book. The goal of this book is to give you a host of a veritable mountain of new options to play around with all of the existing core classes. So you're going to see more bloodlines, you're going to see more rage powers, you're going to see more rogue talents, you're going to see possibly new arcane schools, reorganizing some of the magic lists to give you new arcane schools. You're going to see new domains. We're going to be covering some of the prestige classes that we didn't cover. In particular, I know some folks are really looking forward to their anti-paladin. However, we're not going to be giving that to you as a prestige class. That is going to be an alternate paladin build. So what we're going to do is take the paladin class and present it as an alternate build, but evil, or specifically chaotic evil, as opposed to lawful good. In addition, we're going to be providing an alternate paladin build that is one build that covers every alignment that is not lawful good or chaotic evil. That build will be called the Templar. The Templar will fill the gap between those two. So a paladin that falls from grace, falls from the lawful good ideals, but doesn't go evil, falls into the Templar. Those that go completely evil fall into the anti-paladin. So it'll give you a nice range to work with on paladins. Because to be honest, you can do 9 paladins. I've seen it done very successfully. But in most cases, you end up really kind of struggling for what to fill out, the lawful neutral paladin, and then, now we have the neutral good paladin, and the neutral paladin. I mean, you end up kind of just repeating the same information over and over and over again. So we kind of view the lawful good versus chaotic evil as the ideal ends of the spectrum, where